Have you ever really stopped to think about your voice? I mean, not just the words you say, but what makes it sound like, well, you. Because right now, there's this new invisible threat out there that can literally steal it and create a clone that sounds exactly like you. So today, we're going to dive into this crazy new world of AI fraud and figure out how it's completely changing the game.
Okay, picture this. One fraudster. Just one person. Now, what if that single person could unleash an army of 10,000 autonomous agents? An army that doesn't need to sleep, doesn't take breaks, and just attacks call centers 24/7. Seriously, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's what's happening today, and it's all powered by something called Agentic AI. And let's be super clear here. We are not talking about your average robocall leaving a clumsy message. No. These are autonomous software agents. They can literally think for themselves, they can make decisions on the fly, and they can even handle financial transactions, all while using a perfect synthetic clone of a real person's voice. It's kind of terrifying.
And the thing is, this isn't some problem we need to worry about in the future. This is an emergency. It is happening right now at a scale that is honestly pretty hard to wrap your head around.
Think about it. How much of your voice is already out there? Maybe a video you posted on Instagram, a clip on TikTok, a voicemail you left someone. Well, all the scammer needs is just 3 seconds of that audio. 3 seconds, that's it. And they can create a perfect digital replica of your voice. And just like that, every single one of us becomes a potential target. And if you think this is all just theory, think again. Pindrop's research shows this is very, very real. As of today, 1 out of every 599 calls to a contact center is a fraud attack using this exact technology. That's happening in banking, in insurance, in healthcare, right now.
So the big question is, why can't our old security systems stop this? Well, the hard truth is that the traditional security playbook, it's basically useless now. It's completely obsolete.
You can see the problem right here. It's a total mismatch. We're over here asking classic security questions like, what's your mother's maiden name? Meanwhile, an AI can scrape that answer from a dozen data breaches in less than a second. We think we're clever using a voice password, but an AI can just generate a flawless deepfake of that voice and sail right on by.
And this right here, this is the core of the issue. It is a completely lopsided fight. Your call center's run by humans, right? People who need breaks, who need to sleep. The fraudster's AI army, it works around the clock, launching thousands and thousands of attacks all at once. It's a battle of scale, and right now, the bad guys are winning.
Okay, so that's the pretty bleak picture. But the fight is absolutely not over. There is a modern answer to this very modern threat, and it's called a voice print defense system. Now, this is a really, really important distinction to make. A voice print is not a recording of your voice. It's not about what you say. It's a mathematical model of how you say it. It's analyzing the physical, biological parts of you, the unique shape of your larynx, your throat, your nasal passages. You really should think of it like a fingerprint for your voice. It's unique to you and almost impossible to fake.
And the level of detail we're talking about here is just, it's on another planet. A standard voice ID system, it might look at 50 different features of your voice, but Pindrop's biometric system analyzes over 1,380. That incredible depth is everything. That's how the system can spot the tiny little imperfections, the digital artifacts that AI voice generators always leave behind.
So what is it actually listening for? I mean, things a human ear would never, ever catch. We're talking about micro-patterns in your pitch, the subtle rhythm between your words and your breathing, even the background noise of the room you're in. See, the funny thing about AI voices is that they're often too perfect. They're too clean. They don't have the organic, messy little flaws that make a human voice human. And that's exactly how they get caught.
All right, so the technology is incredible, but how do you actually put it to work? How do you get real results without, making things impossible for your legitimate customers?
Well, getting this up and running is actually way more straightforward than you might think. First, it just plugs right into the phone systems you're already using. Then comes the really genius part, passive enrollment. The system just quietly and safely builds a customer's voice print in the background during their normal calls. The customer doesn't have to do anything. There's zero friction. And finally, the agents get trained on a really clear, simple set of rules for what to do when a call gets flagged.
And for the actual agents on the front lines, this is what it looks like. It's just a simple color-coded system. A call comes in, gets a score. Green, you're good to go, proceed normally. Yellow, okay, there is a slight risk, so just add one more easy verification step into the conversation. And if it's red, you don't confront the caller. You just escalate it to the fraud team immediately. It takes all the guesswork and pressure off the agent.
But of course, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the bottom line, right? Does this actually make financial sense? And the answer is a resounding yes. Look, while it is an investment, the value of the fraud it stops is so much greater. We're talking a 3 to 5 times return on investment for most companies. It turns out that really good security is also really good business.
So there's a really powerful solution for the threats we're facing today. But we have to be realistic. This battle is constantly changing, and our strategy has to change right along with it. And let's make no mistake about this. This is an arms race. The AI tools the fraudsters are using get better every single month. Any security system that you just set and forget is guaranteed to fail. The only defense that's going to work long-term is a dynamic one, a system that is constantly learning, constantly updating itself, and always adapting to whatever the next threat is.
Which really just brings us to one last urgent thought. These AI fraudsters, they're not on their way. They're already here. They are on the line, calling businesses at this very moment. So the only question left is, who do you want on your side answering that call?